Being prepared in the event of an emergency. It sounds simple. It sounds like something government should do, but too often when emergencies strike, people are left struggling, looking for what to do next. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. And while I'm regularly critical of government, today, I guess you could call it a feel-good story because uh, Minister Jill Dunlop is in charge of emergency preparedness for Ontario and has started an organization called Ontario Corps that I think is exactly what should be happening when it comes to emergency preparedness. Minister Dunlop joins me now. Minister, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brian.
So, this sounds like something that should have existed forever. It sounds so common sense. Tell us about Ontario Corps and how this came about.
Well, this was first launched in November 2024, and this was brought forward by the Premier, and it really embodies the Ontario spirit. We all know that, when people are in crisis, everyone wants to help out. And so we've looked at it from the perspective of emergency management and how can we coordinate those responses across the province because disasters can happen anywhere, and you want to be able to respond as quickly as possible.
And so I know you signed an agreement recently with Labatt, the brewery down in London, Ontario. They can water for emergencies, and they've done that before. And so there's a forest fire up north, let's say. They need drinking water brought in. They will can the water and get it to you or somebody else, and it'll be shipped up there. But you went in and you said, okay, what more can you guys offer in case of emergencies? Tell me a bit about that and how you're working with companies to say, what do you have at your disposal that in case of an emergency, we can come to you for?
Well, Labatt's has been fantastic, and as you mentioned, they do the water canning, and we were working with them this past summer where they donated 40,000 cans of water that went north to a First Nation community, but it's also part of a program that's been going on since 2012 with their Canadian Disaster Relief Program, where they've donated over 1 million cans of water. So we already had that partnership in place. But we looked and had the conversations about what more could they do and offer the people of Ontario. And it's everything from logistics with the trucking of supports and resources across the province to the refrigerated spaces that could be used during evacuations for pickup for drop off. And so when we had this conversation, they put their hand up and said, "This, we want to get involved and we want to be able to give back."
And so are you going around to other companies now and doing the same sort of thing? Like what can you bring to the table? And if so, what kind of offers are you getting and or what are you looking for?
No, absolutely. And, I look back, it actually started the idea during the ice storm that impacted my area, which was about a year ago last year. I'm a brand new minister at the time, and the ice storm, hits Orillia, Peterborough area. And I had some of the heavy equipment companies reach out to me and said, look, we have equipment in your area. What can we do to help clean up debris? So we were able to connect those companies with municipalities who were completely beyond capacity to do the debris cleanup. So from there, we got thinking, okay, people are putting their hand up and saying, I want to help out in our communities. And some of these large companies are in communities across Ontario. So we want to be able to coordinate the supports, but also having the resources in those areas makes us able to respond much quicker.
Yeah, just having a database of who to call. You need
Absolutely.
refrigeration space. Okay, in what area? And then it's there. Um, have you employed this already in, say, forest fire season or communities that have needed to be evacuated? Has it shown borne fruit yet?
So if you look at Ontario Core, let's think of it as a network. So we have the people who sign up online, which any of the listeners can do that. It's quite simple. Go online. There's a sign up available there, which at this point we have
Is this for individuals?
for individuals, yeah. So right
Okay.
now we have over 3,000 individuals who are signed up, who are ready to be deployed. And then we've also built on the public, as the private partnership. So groups like Labatt's, the Ontario Road Builders, and we're continuing to build on that. But it's really about coordinating those supports. So we'll continue to look for other partners, and we have quite a few that are already in the works that we'll be announcing shortly. But just also hoping to get the word out so that others who may say, hey, you know what, I can do something very similar would sign up with us.
All right, Minister, it sounds like a great initiative, and as I said, um, you would have thought this was around forever. It just smacks of common sense, and hopefully makes things easier and more straightforward as the province, eventually will deal with more emergencies. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian.
All right, let us know what you think. Drop a comment in the section below. Share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.